Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another F125 video, and today we're going to be basically reacting to my Silverstone W1 video. This was round 5. We've already done Spa, so this is a bit late for me, but here we are just approaching the box, getting a perfect start.
That's going to give you the edge if you can get good launch as the race starts.
Let's just see how it goes.
Keep an eye on
This is
the
going to be a live
lights.
reaction,
The start sequence
so
will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
I don't even remember this race. I think I got a good start. Yeah, I got past Catherine Omrod and Speed Queen at the beginning. So let's see. Yep, very good getaway. Couldn't get Shark Storm, but you know, that was alright. Just keeping it a bit wide to give Speed Queen a little bit of room. Oh, bit deep into turn 3, I think. But yeah, good start. And yeah, portions of this video are muted because obviously we're talking about strategy, so I don't want people to hear that. But oh, and Curious Fire was disqualified from the session. That's a bit of an unfortunate one. I think something went wrong with her clutch pedal, whatever you call it. Yeah, and just burning a bit of a battery here, just to keep on Shark Storm a little bit, even though we're on the medium tyres and they're on the hards, but going very conservative into Copse Corner and just trying to keep the tyres from dying too fast. Even though it's lap 1, we're conserving from the beginning and not going out with crazy pace from the beginning, because that is not going to help with the strategy that we're looking for, which is a medium hard 1-stop. So yeah, having a look right now into sector 3, and the dirty air is not great when you're following through these sections of the track. But yeah, just keeping on Shark Storm here. I feel like we have a lot of expendable pace,
okay, DRS,
but we're not using it yet, because I mean I could have actually got through, but I'm not burning my battery. I'm going to actually start charging it very soon. And it's all about keeping those tyres in check, because this track punishes those left-hand tyres like crazy. So yeah.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy.
Mark's telling me to use my overtake button more, but yeah, I mean, I noticed actually I was better in this section of the track than other drivers, so I could use that to my advantage later on in the race, which was very helpful, but we'll talk about that later, as it's only lap 2. And yeah, just keeping in the DRS. Speed Queen behind, doing a good job to keep within my DRS as well. We should be the faster car, which we are at the moment, but these tyres will drop off very fast indeed. And yeah, that dirty air just making us go a little bit wide, but nothing we can't handle. And Speed Queen actually closing 3/10 in that section of the track, and it's just a little lock up, going a bit wide there. But we're chilling because she's not going to throw a strange move down into the chicane, because she knows better than to do that. And yeah, just keeping it all in one piece, to be honest. Catherine Omrod, oh, Melissa Muller now setting the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, and I think even from lap 3, I think the tyres are getting a bit interesting, but nothing we can't handle. And using a bit more battery on this lap, because I can see that Shark Storm is getting away a little bit fast. They go a bit wide there, and I managed to keep a bit closer to the curb there, but I don't get a very good exit off this corner. I haven't been very good at the hairpin at Luffield very well, so I think that's where I lacked in this race as well. But down into Copse, always getting a good run down into Copse and in Maggots and Beckett's as well. Yeah, cutting the corner as much as possible, but not too much, where you go on those nasty red, almost sausage curbs, but they're not too bad in comparison to a track like Monza, where they have massive sausage curbs. But yeah, I think I got a bit, yeah, look, so far away from the curbs there. So much dirty air. It's just unbelievable. And now Sharkstorm is getting away a little bit, but we're just looking to keep in the DRS. We started 4th, we're in 2nd. So anything is better than, you know, where we started. And yeah, they're getting away a little bit. And we have used a little bit more battery, and I missed the apex there a little bit. And yeah, just a bit of a mistake there. Ooh. Yeah, that section of corners was horrific from me. And Catherine Omrod, crucially, keeping it within Speed Queen's DRS, and she's actually the one we're battling here. In my mind, I'm battling Catherine Omrod because she's on the same tyre compound as me. So always keeping her in mind, but always looking ahead as well. And as Sharkstorm is getting away, 9/10 on the gap. And yeah,
Flag.
still using conservative lines into these right-handers because they've burnt up the tyres like mad, as I've said before. But yeah, just trying to get within that DRS and obviously managing it because we're not too bad with tyres yet.
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
Now Sharkstorm ahead is able to keep their tyres in check because they don't have anyone in front of them, meaning no dirty air. So, and I don't know why I went in second gear there. Very interesting. And yeah, I'm nearly losing the DRS now. The hard tyres are definitely better than the mediums at this point. Or maybe I'm just washed. So that could also be an option.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now.
No issues with tyre wear, although I am feeling some effects. Because I'm not great with tyre wear management. So maybe that's something I can work on for the future. But right now, I'm just desperately trying to keep in within that DRS. It's only lap 5. And I'm struggling a little bit, especially on the exit on the field. It's, yeah, can't get any power down. A bit of an overcorrection there with a bit of oversteer. And now I'm not even in DRS anymore, so I have to get a good exit from cops and burn the battery as much as possible to the DRS detection line, and we did get it. That was good. We survive another day. But Speed Queen behind desperately wants to get past, and she's within 4/10, but I noticed on the exit of Beckett's, I've always managed to get a better exit than the person behind me. So, yeah, again, with the dirty air, even from 8/10 away. So yeah, I think that's kind of what saved me. Well, not saved me, but helped me out in this race. But this race didn't actually finish in the way I wanted it to. I was on the cards for definitely a podium, if not a P1 or a P2. But unfortunate events happened, which stopped me from trying to do that. But we will talk about that later. Yeah, and I think this is my last dose of DRS. I'm pretty sure this is my last dose of DRS, as my tyres are cooked. They are cooked. So, yeah, and a bit wide there, a bit of a lock-up. Not ideal. Not ideal at all, and still can't get the exit. Look at the overcorrections on the wheel. Not good whatsoever. And Sharkstorm is gone. They're gone. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in DRS. Oh, actually, I think... Did I keep it? I kept it for this straight. No way. No way. Bit wide there as well. But I kept the DRS, so that's good on me. I actually think that Catherine Omrod has lost the DRS to Speed Queen, which is crucial at this point to keep her from getting closer. But I think I'm officially cooked, am I? My pace is not looking good anymore. And perhaps in hindsight, starting on the hards would have been a better option because of what happened later on in the race. So yeah, I definitely think that would have been a better idea in hindsight. But I guess we can't always imagine what's going to happen in a race, where the safety cars come out. See, if it was an early safety car, then it would have benefited me, but it was a late safety car, so it wasn't ideal. Yeah, I think this is my last dose of DRS officially from Sharkstorm, and officially getting hunted by Speed Queen behind. And Catherine Ormerod doing a good job to now... Ooh, big oversteer snap there. Yeah, Catherine Ormerod doing a good job to keep within Speed Queen's DRS, as I'm not actually doing a good job to keep in Sharkstorm's DRS, but I'm actually holding them back now. And going through Maggots and Beckett's again. And what I do actually on the next straight is I just let her go. I just turn the battery off and let her go, because I know I don't have much battery left. I've got about nearly 40%. And I'm like, nah, I just stop burning, and I turn the battery off at some point. I think, yeah, I've turned it off now. And I'm like, you can have it, mate, because there's no point fighting, because I'm just going to lose more and more time if we have some silly battles, and that's not what we want in this race. Because realistically, right now, I'm fighting Catherine Ormerod. So yeah, trying to keep into the DRS. Oh, and a bit of a correction there. Yep. Still kept in the DRS though of Speed Queen. He did a little bit of a defensive move there. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, but I'm like, I was nowhere near her, so I wasn't exactly going to send a dive bomb to her. But yeah, nearly out of her DRS as well, and I think this might be my last dose of DRS before I pit. Or just forever, actually, I'm not sure, until the safety car. But yeah, like, these tyres are finished. I think, I'm not sure what lap I pitted on. I think I pitted on lap 11. Could be wrong. I don't remember. This was like 2 rounds ago now. I'm filming this very late, actually. This was from round 5, and we're about to encroach on round 7? Yeah, next round is round 7 at Monza. I've just done Spa. So yeah, it's a bit late for me, but that's alright. Better late than never. I had a good exit, decent exit from there, and I managed to keep the DRS, I think, for one last time. I'm just going quite slowly into this corner because I know that the understeer is going to be immense. And right now I'm basically just lifting into every corner, or into most braking zones, just to make sure I don't lock those tyres up, because I'm not sure what brake bias I was on at this point.
Away from us now.
Definitely not brake bias that would help the front tyres, let's just say that. Yeah, taking it very conservative into turn 3. And I'm not very good at turn 4, not gonna lie. I've noticed that I lose a lot of time and I don't have DRS anymore. Oh dear. But I think my pace was still good enough, just good enough, to keep Ormerod behind. And I think that's definitely what helped me retain the position rather than losing it. But she's quite close behind, as I'm not very good at that corner, and I have 14% left in my battery. Ooh dear. But going none into every single corner, of course. Got to keep that battery up. And I've gained a little bit of time, and I have probably a good exit here. Do I have a good exit? A little bit. Slightly better. And yeah, Speed Queen and Sharkstorm have officially checked out. They are solidified in P1 and 2 at the moment. But in hindsight, when I pitted without the safety car, I would have come out in the lead. So what could have been in this race? I know I would have been a bit slower at the end, but I could have, I think I would have, I mean, right now, it would have been an easy podium. Easy podium. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, again, really bad at these corners. I just can't get these corners right. In qualifying, I'm actually decent at those corners, so Very interesting that I can't emulate that in the race, because normally my race pace is actually better than my qualifying pace.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 2.3 seconds.
Yeah. And Catherine doing a good job to actually keep close to me in these slow sections of the track. Even without dirty air. But she didn't have a good exit on that corner, so just gives me a bit of breathing room into Copse Corner, and especially into Maggots and Brackets, where I feel like I can pull a bit of time out in these corners as well. I say that as I lost time in that particular instance. But then gain time on the exit.
Okay, pit
it's all about the exits, am I right? Pit in this lap. Yeah, so I think originally I probably wanted to pit on lap 10. I think I did pit on lap 10, didn't I? Yeah, I did, I think, because I wouldn't have made it to lap 11. And I had a horrible pit entry, and I at least lost 2 seconds with that pit entry, at least. That was terrible, because the pit entry speed limit here at this track is 37 miles per hour, which is a lot slower than other tracks, like, I think Monza's probably like 80 or something. I could be wrong. But I'm just not used to slowing down that much. And in the social race at Silverstone, in November, I believe it was, I got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I still won because I was the only one that knew, or maybe could achieve the one stop
if you cross onto the track.
In that race. And I won by 2/10, even with a 10-second speeding penalty. But everyone's learnt what the strategy is here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't speed. I nearly did, I think. And I think on the entry of my safety car pit stop, I think I nearly sped again. So, not very good at pit entries, obviously. But yeah, now we're on the hards, and we're behind Yuki Panda, but I believe she's going to pit soon anyway. So next up is Miss Nutrix, my teammate. And by the time I get to her, she's going to make a stupendous dive into the pit lane when the safety car comes out, which was pretty cool, I must say. Pretty fast thinking. But yeah, catching the Yuki Panda now by 2 seconds. 2 seconds? I don't remember what the gap was, actually. I don't know, but catching her at a fast rate, so obviously the hards are working well for me right now. Bit of a lock up into the chicane. And yeah, this chicane is very interesting for traction. On the exit of the chicane, and you want to get it lined up in the right way for the last corner.
ERS is low. Consider changing mode
now Willow Keeble
MFD,
into the pits.
or lift a little with gentle braking into
So that's one less person
to
overtake. So crucially here, Catherine Thielking is in third, and she's on the hards. I guess what's going to happen when the safety car comes out, I can tell you for free, she's not going to be behind me. Yeah, catching Miss Nutrix now, I think, a second since I last looked. But yeah, I was hoping, because obviously at this rate, by the time I get to her, she's not going to have pitted. So I was hoping that she would kind of let me go, but she didn't have to in the end. She didn't have to, so I didn't compromise any time there for her. And I got my first track limits warning. First track limits warning. This track isn't actually too bad for track limits, to be fair. It's just Maggots Brackets. The exit of Copse, some people run wide. But look, no dirty air. We managed to hit the apex there. How nice. And we've got a ghosted car, a Ferrari. I think that's Charlie. Maybe. Can't really tell. Nice cut off the corner there. I'm flying right now. I can feel my pace is actually pretty good. And I think that's Charlie. I can't tell. Yeah, it is. It is. And yeah, really cutting down the time to miss Nutrix. So I know
Okay, keep an eye on that gap
that
ahead, please.
my time to
2.1
Sharkstorm and
seconds.
Speed Queen is becoming down a considerable amount as well, even though they're one of the 2 fastest drivers on the grid. So yeah, getting the note to overtake the back marker now. And we're just very quick through these corners. I've given up saving the tyres because we're charging now. We're charging. Very nice carbon corner. That was a bit dodgy. It wasn't very good. I think this might be the lap where the safety car comes out and, as you'll see, Miss Nutrix absolutely... Yep, Charlotte Perkins has retired and she's crashed into a wall somewhere and off into the pit lane. To be fair, it's a good thing that she pitted on this lap, because I wouldn't have had the quick thinking to pit, and I wanted to pit because my tyres, I think, I had 15% on the front left. And now Sharkstorm and Speed Queen are going to be on fresh mediums. So I'm thinking, do I come into the pits now that Miss Nutrix is out of the way? And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to go and stick on some new tyres. And Catherine Thielking, you lucky bugger. I'm joking. But she's now 18 seconds in front of me. And yeah, unfortunately with the safety car there was a bit of a miscommunication or misunderstanding with a couple of the back markers, and there was some incidents and some DNFs, so that's unfortunate, but this all happens. Yeah, I've gained somehow 3 seconds, or okay, I've gained a couple seconds somehow to Catherine on this lap. Okay, now I've got it. I've given it all back now. Obviously, speeding under the safety car is not ideal. But yeah, we're going to come into the pits and put on a fresh set of mediums, which Catherine Ormerod behind doesn't do, which I was surprised by. I thought she would have, she's probably a lot better at conserving her tyres than me, because I saw on the broadcast, I think mine were in the 70s when I got off the mediums and hers were in the 50s, and I was like, oh, wow, that is a very good tyre conservation. So yep, and we're going to see me nearly pitting,
Right, drop your speed.
not nearly
That
pitting,
delta's
not nearly
too low.
speeding into the pits, which would be terrible. So look, I think, I swear that went to 38 miles per hour at the moment I crossed that line. And for some, yeah, Cutie Bunny, Sarah Hardy is out of the session because they've unfortunately crashed into one of the RBs. So yeah,
Right,
Catherine
let's go,
Ormerod
come on.
now ahead of Catherine Thielking. So I'm just checking here if I got any penalties, and I didn't. So just wanted to check just in case it didn't come up. I was a bit worried there. And unfortunately, Jess has disconnected from the session and her AI car has pitted her onto the softs. So I don't know why the AI does that, because I'm pretty sure she pitted to put on a different set of tyres and they just put her back onto the softs. Like, why? I don't know why the AI does that when you get disconnected. It's so silly. I actually watched a league race recently where someone was in the lead, or they were very close to getting the lead. They disconnected and the AI put them on the softs, and then they were suddenly in 15th place. So that's really, really good. Really good, EA. Fix your game. But I suppose we don't have very long with this game. Actually, no, because obviously the 26 is going to be DLC, so I suppose we're going to have this game for another year. But yeah, just now catching up to Willow Keeble, who pitted onto the hards quite a while ago. So obviously they have jumped me. So we would have been on the same strategy as Willow Keeble if I had stayed on the hard compound of tyre, but I would have been ahead of both. I would have been in between Thielking and Keeble, so yeah. But my idea here is obviously you know, warm my tyres up as much as possible and get past Willow Keeble, because they're going to be slow off the jump of the safety car because they've got the hards on, and that's the tyre warm up for the hards isn't particularly great in comparison to the mediums. And I know she's had those tyres on for some time now, so she's basically going to be a sitting duck at the safety car restart. And I'm not sure how many laps the safety car was out for. I think it was quite a few, so we're going to be waiting here for a while now. But yeah, Miss Nutrix has come out behind me, even though she pitted before me and she was ahead of me. So I'm not really sure what she was doing on her little lap coming up the pits. I'm not sure how she got behind me, but I'm glad that happened, because obviously that would be another person to overtake. And now I'm currently in sixth. Not good whatsoever. And I started fourth, in sixth. I was hoping for a podium, because that would have been, I mean, that was on the cards for us from the get-go. And unfortunately, Thiel King obviously jumped us because of the safety car. But I mean, we've had some luck from safety cars, but mostly bad luck. So I think we got to have less safety cars, to be honest. But safety cars make things interesting. So, you know, the viewers got to get something to watch. So, and I think we're going for another lap, because the safety car hasn't picked up everything, I think. And now the game is telling me to pass Willow, and I'm like, no, because I know that's not right. And then look, suddenly it said stay behind. So I would have definitely got a penalty for overtaking under the safety car if I had done that. But yeah. So we're just warming up our tyres now without destroying them, like Kimi Räikkönen does. He just goes straight and he warms his tyres up in his special way. I don't know why I start weaving there. You want to do a bit of weaving when the safety car says to come in, but there's no point. Oh, and I think the back marker in front of Miss Nutrix had a bit of a confusion there. Willow Keeble is absolutely destroying her tyres right now. I do a little bit of weaving because I think that the safety car might come in this lap, and I think it does. I'm not entirely sure. I think it does. Could be wrong. But yeah, I'm glad I've got Miss Nutrix behind, because, you know, we're teammates. She's not going to pull any silly moves on me. And so I feel my eyes are looking forward. My eyes are looking forward and not behind me. So it's definitely a good thing that I've got her behind me. And you've got Miyuki Panda behind her as well. And I think they had a little bit of a battle after the safety car restart. I can't quite remember, but I think there was a bit of a spicy battle. You know, my brain doesn't go back that far. It's been a couple of weeks since we had this race, and I'm a bit late on this upload, but you know, what can you do? What can you do? Safety car in this lap, finally. The commentary was getting a bit boring. It was getting a bit long and boring. So now I'm weaving my tyres around, trying to get them as heated up as possible, because we want a good jump off the line. And yep, so I think Sharkstorm is in the lead. And obviously, I think it would be a bit silly to go before the chicane. They're going to go after the chicane. Can absolutely bomb it into the last corner. But I drop a gear to get myself a bit of extra torque, as it were. So now they've gone. And Willow Keeble gets a bit of oversteer there, and I get a good jump on her. But she's using the battery, and I can't get through because she's giving a little bit of defensive moving there. And I'm like, I'm not gonna absolutely dive bomb her into turn 3, because that's not a good idea. But you know, her tyre warm up is not going to be as good as mine. So let's see if we can get her into the next one. And we've got a good run out of those corners there, and we are just waiting, and we absolutely do a bit of late braking, keep it quite close to the curb to give her a bit of room, and I think she tagged me a little bit on the back, but I've made the move. So we're through, and now we just want to get to Catherine Thielking, who has the same age tyres as us.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the
drive. So the delta, tyre delta is going to be absolutely nothing. So we just have to get her on pure pace, and I'm just hoping she overtakes Catherine Omrod as fast as possible, because we have got, what is that, around about 8 racing laps left. And I want to get past Omrod as fast as possible, because I know her tyre warm-up is not going to be great in comparison to the mediums. Because looking at it, Catherine Omrod is getting a bit detached from the car in front, which I think is Rebecca Morel. And Sharkstorm with the fastest lap of the race so far.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
So it's all up to Catherine Thielking to get past Omrod, because otherwise I'm going to be stuck in 5th place. And she's going round the outside, and she does it. That was a great move. Into turn 4, I think it is. I always get confused. But yeah. And we're just going to hunt down Omrod, because our tyres are going to be better than hers at the moment, because these medium tyres overheat very quickly, and they wear very quickly. Oh, a little bit of a snap for Omrod, which gives us a better run, and we're 2 tenths away. And I'm obviously not going to send her into Cops or into Maggots and Beckett's. DRS is enabled, so we should be able to get her into or on the straight, because I think she has lost DRS. I'm not sure actually. I can't do maths. Okay, she has lost DRS. No, I think she's got it actually. So yeah, on this lap, we're just going to stay behind. There's no point burning the battery. Yeah, a little bit of dirty air there, but we got a good exit. And we're just saving the battery, saving all the battery. And Willow Cable behind is still keeping us honest with those hard tyres on. And Omrod is flashing. Obviously, she's just conserving the battery.
Let's go. Let's get past them.
And she's conserving as much battery as possible to keep me behind. But not for long. I will not be held at bay for too long. Because I need to use these medium tyres. I cut the corner, not the corner, I cut the line a little bit there to get a bit of a better run, but I don't think it worked. And now she's flashing all the way down the straight. I'm not sure. I don't think she's out of battery. I think that's a tactical thing. But yeah, she's a bit wide there, so my exit was a little bit better than hers. Or actually, perhaps she got a better exit than me, but now I'm using the battery to get as close to her as possible before Maggots and Beckett. And she's flashing and I'm using the battery, so you know that I'm going to be on the run for this position right here. And I get a good exit out of Beckett's. And now, I just don't... Did I get the position here? I think I wait another lap. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean when I said, oh, look at the dirty air. This is what I mean when I said that I needed to get her past her as soon as possible, because otherwise I won't have a chance at getting Thielking ahead into the podium positions, which is a massive shame in my eyes. A massive shame.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres.
Really? 7 tenths ahead?
Be making another pit stop.
Omrod is doing a really good job here, actually, to gap me on certain areas of the track where I'm not as good. Like here. And here. I'm just not good at it. And I've actually nearly lost the DRS, but I actually kept it. Crucially kept the DRS. And I'm dropping Willow Keel behind a little bit, which is very important for what happens later on at the end of the British Grand Prix. And Omrod, oh, I get a bit of oversteer as well there. But I think it's time to open the door for an overtake. And I'm only 3/10 behind, 4/10 now. And if I can just get a good exit from Beckett's, then I'm on for an overtake here. And do I get it? I think I got the good exit. And now she's a sitting duck. There's nothing that she can do, and she starts flashing. So I think she let me go there because she knows it's better just to rescind the position and maybe get me up later with DRS. But I'm going to try and use these medium tyres to the best of my ability now. And because Catherine Thielking in front has basically no one in front of her, and I've been in the dirty air of Catherine Ormerod, I think her tyres are a bit better than mine at this point. So I wasn't really able to close in that well. I actually lost time on these few laps, and at the end of the race I closed in by I think a second or something. So I think maybe she cooked her tyres a little bit. If I had maybe a couple more laps, could have had a go. But, you know, if, you know, as Max Verstappen says. Yep, using the battery as much as possible here. Only 30% in the car at the moment, so we could be under threat from Ormerod behind. So let's see if I can get a good exit from Beckett's, as I have been doing most of the race, to keep her at bay. And yep, looks like a good exit, bit of battery, and yeah. Managed to keep her behind quite well. Turn the battery off to conserve as much as I can. And we are nearing the end of the Grand Prix here. And I'm catching Catherine Thielking in front in some areas, but then she's just, oh, what is that? Like, what was that? Yeah, so I'm catching her in some areas, and I got a bit distracted there. And she's just pulling away in other areas. So, what could have been? What could have been? But without the safety car. That was a good turn 3. I mean, and then I ruined it in turn 4. Everything I do well in one place, I ruin it in a different place. Yeah, just locking up because I'm trying to protect my, I'm not sure on this track. I think it's the front tyres that suffer actually more than the rear tyres. It's not really a track like it is like for Monza or, you know, other tracks like that. So yeah, trying to keep Catherine Ormerod behind once again, and she's actually closer on this lap, 0.3 of a second going into Maggots and Beckett's. 2, but then again with the good exit out of Beckett's, just managing to keep that car behind, and she can't really catch too much down the straight. I think maybe that's, I don't know if it's a setup thing or whatever, or she's not really trying with the battery. But she's being smart here. I mean, you know, being very respectful racing. Never had an issue with Ormerod. I think the 2 times I've had some battles with her. Very respectful racer.
Gap to your teammate behind, 8.3 seconds.
You know, just saving the battery anywhere I can at this point, because I know that I'm now looking behind me and not in front of me. Catherine Thielking is getting away. They're putting a little bit of a gap on me, and I'm pretty sure Sharkstorm and Speed Queen have absolutely checked out, and they are absolutely going to get P1 and 2, and they are my title competitors. So I definitely took a bit of a blow in this race to my title chances. Yeah, definitely took quite a blow. I think this race, Bahrain, Austria, when I got the puncture, those are all races where I was on. Well, actually no, Bahrain I was really bad, really slow. But Austria, I was on for the win. I was leading the race for a lot of it as well. And this race could have been a win, could have been a P2. Wouldn't have been probably any less than that. I mean, maybe a P3 if they really caught me. And Catherine Ormerod catching with the DRS into now the last 2 laps of the race. And I've actually caught Catherine Thielking in front a little bit, and I've just lost it into the chicane. So that's really good. But you can actually see Willow Keeble is actually catching both of us, because I'm now holding Omrod back from going forwards. I'm like a blockade in the road. So Willow Keeble, on her older tyres actually, is catching both of us, because I'm just in the way now, and I am the slower car because of my tyres. They are done. They are finished. And those hard tyres, in hindsight, I could have stayed on the hards. But then would I have got both Willow Keeble and Catherine Omrod to take people? I'm not sure about that. I don't know if I would have been fast enough, to be honest, with my already slightly more tyres. I mean, probably. And I actually, if I had stayed on the hards, then I would have been actually in front of both of them. I don't know. I actually don't know. Can't remember. But yep. Managing to keep Omrod behind again on this straight. So I'm just managing to keep my battery up in all the relevant areas and saving it in all of the important areas as well. And we are on the final lap of the race.
Final lap. Let's
and
go.
I'm actually catching Thielking in front. I think I've caught about 4 or 5 tenths, because I'm absolutely wringing the neck out of this car right now, trying to keep this position here. And I think she's cooked her tyres. And yeah, look, I'm just catching now, suddenly. Suddenly. Why couldn't I have done that before? Yeah, it's a shame, it's a shame. I think I caught about 4 tenths just there. Damn. That podium just slipped away from us. But I think I'm quite confident I can keep this position now, because the gap to Omrod is now 6 tenths, and all I have to do is use that battery down the last straight of this track in Sector 3. Just make sure I don't mess up this lovely section of the track, which is honestly probably one of the best section of corners on all of the tracks in the F125 calendar. And yet I'm just chilling, and I've caught Catherine Thielking now by another few tenths. So yeah, what could have been, but it doesn't matter. Well done to Sharkstorm for that win. Definitely deserved it, no doubt in my mind that they deserved that. But yeah, and that is the end of the race. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little reaction video, and see you next time in Monza.